Hi there, welcome to video number 159. This is on loci and constructions, and the keywords I've got for you are loci, construction, perpendicular, and bisector, and equidistant. Lots of keywords there, lots of complicated mathematical words. But loci is a path that's been determined by a rule. Okay, so the loci or locus, plural, is the path that has been given to you or you have constructed using a given set of instructions. A construction is an accurate mathematical drawing. Perpendicular means at right angles to. Bisector means to cut exactly in half. And equidistant means equal distance from one point or one line to another. Okay, so if something is equidistant, it is the same distance away from one thing to another thing. Okay, so there are four main loci in construction you need to know and be able to do. I've got them in different colours. Loci around a point. It's really important you understand what they do. Okay, so loci around a point creates a path that's a specific distance around a point at all times. Loci around a line, that will create a path a specific distance from a line at all times. Now that specific distance in the questions will be given to you. An angle bisector, which is the one that creates a path equidistant from two lines at the same time. And the perpendicular bisector creates a path equidistant from 2 points at all times. And I've also put in there you can also construct angles of 30, 45, 60 and 90 degrees. And in the last one you can also draw or construct a perpendicular from point P to the line AB, which is what that particular question says there, but for any point to a line. So I'm going to show you how to do all the four different things and show you how to construct some angles and stuff as well. Right, draw the locus of points exactly 3 centimeters from A, and we've got this X here, so it's kind of assuming we have to go 3 centimeters from this X. And I did write the question, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my compass to 3 centimeters. So get your ruler, get your compass, set that to 3 centimeters. Okay, really simple. Put the compass point on the center of the point where you need to go round. Now this path that I'm going to draw is always going to be 3 centimeters away from that point at all times. Okay, and yes, it's gone a little bit outside the box and it's gone over the words a little bit. However, that is the path that is exactly 3 centimeters away from that point at all times. All right, and obviously in your questions you won't have to go over the words or out of lines or outside the lines or anything like that. Okay, it will always fit in. They'll make sure that that happens. I didn't, because I didn't want to make the ruler too small for you to be able to see, not see what the numbers were on them. Okay, so let's have a look at the second question. This one's a line. We've got to be 3 centimeters away from the line at all times. So we do exactly the same thing. Set it to 3 centimeters, right? Pop the compass point on the end of the line. At the end of the line, you've got a point. Okay, so we could be we should be drawing a semicircle there, okay, at the end of the line. Okay, you do the same on the other side. All right, so you just change the compass point to the other side, and then we do that drawing there. All right, another semicircle at the end of the line. All right, and then what we need to do is just join those 2 points together and those 2 points together. So we get ruler, okay, and we get a pen. And hopefully we can draw along there. All right, and the same thing at the top. All right, just line it up like that. And if it's longer, you might want to mark a few points along the middle. All right, but get the pen. And there we go. And what you end up with is this kind of running track shape around the line. Okay, and that path there is exactly 3 centimeters from the line at all times. Now this is useful in the next video. All right, I'm going to do the contextual problems, the ones where we have to solve the problems, and sometimes you might have to be exactly on that line, sometimes you might have to be outside that area, or sometimes you have to be within that area. Okay, depends on what the question is asking you or telling you to do, or where to be. All right, now the next one that we're going to look at there, find the path that is equidistant from A, B and BC. Now AB is a line and BC is a line. We need to be halfway between them. Equidistant means halfway between them. And to find that's an angle bisector. Okay. What we do is we set our compass to anywhere along that bottom line first of all. Okay. or the other line, doesn't matter. Now we're just going to draw an arc along that line. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same thing. All right. In fact, I'm going to have to carry on because I can't actually rotate that compass round because it's gone off the screen. So I'm just going to carry on. Right. Doesn't matter if you do this or not. Right. And I've drawn an arc over the other line as well. Okay. Normally I'd have a little space in between there. Right. So there you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the compass point there on the point of intersection between the line and the arc that I drew. And I'm going to draw an arc in the middle here, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to pop it on that point there. And I'm going to rotate that around. And then I'm going to draw an arc. And then I've got another point of intersection. And what that has done is that's given me a point to join back to the vertex of the angle. Okay, so from B, or ABC, I'm drawing a straight line that goes all the way through that point of intersection between those two arcs that I drew in the middle of the angle. And that's exactly halfway between them. Alright, and you can always check that as well if you want to. Alright, and that's not beautiful because I didn't quite get it from the vertex of the angle. It's very tricky to do. There you go, that's a bit better. Alright, just rub that first attempt out if you can. Well, you can't, I can't, but you know, you could if you were doing it in pencil, and you will be. You won't be doing it on a computer. So there, through there, and you just carry on all the way through. That's as far as you need to go. Alright, that's splitting our splitting our angle exactly into two pieces, two equal pieces. Okay, and if we wanted to be closer to BC, that's everything this side of the line. Okay, if we want to be closer to AB, then it's everything this side of the line. Okay, now let's have a little look at the next one in number 2, and this one, 2 points. D and E, they're 2 points. All right, so find the path that is equidistant from those. Now what we do with this, all right, what I actually like to do, I like to join the 2 points together. So D and E can be joined together to begin with. All right, and then what we do is we do something called a perpendicular bisector. So that is us setting the compass to just over halfway. I can't actually access the compass there because it's just too big and it's going off the screen. It's a bit annoying. Alright, so we've got to make sure that we're definitely over halfway. Now that is about halfway. Let's set it to there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is draw an arc that goes through like that, and then I'm going to draw it on the other side as well. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that compass point there, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, so what I should be getting is a bit of pen work in which it's not doing. There we go. So I needed to flip it around there. That's it. There it is. Alright, now I've got 2 points of intersection. And what I'm going to do is get my line tool. These 2 points here, alright, can be joined together, and that is going to create you what we call the perpendicular bisector. Okay, so that's not quite perfect. So there we go. A couple of attempts. That's much better. And then it just slightly moves away. That's a bit annoying, but never mind. All right, that point, joined through, that is a right angle there. Okay. Anyway, that's a right angle there. That's a right angle there. These are all right angles. All right. That's our perpendicular bisector. Cut it in half. All right. If we want to be closer to D than to E, everything on the left-hand side would be what we're interested in. If we want to be closer to E than to D, everything on the right-hand side would be what we're interested in. Right, but this path here is exactly halfway between D and E at all times. All points on that line are exactly halfway between D and E. Okay, right, let's have a look at the last box worth of questions. Right, a few little things to do here. Interesting things. First one asks us to construct a 60-degree angle. Okay, so I'm going to pop the compass point on the end of the line. You can do it from either end. It's up to you. Now you can set it to any distance along this line that you want, right? I'm going to set it to about there. And I'm going to draw an arc there, and I'm just going to carry on going, right, until I get to about there. Right, just make sure you draw far enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that about, change that round, and then I'm going to draw from that point of intersection there. Just move it up a little bit. I'm going to draw an arc there. Okay, just to make sure it crosses the other arc that I drew. And then what we can draw from this end of the line through the point of intersection is another line, and we've created an angle. So the blue line and the red line joined together, that's created an angle, and that is actually an exact 60-degree angle. And we can have a look at that as well in the protractor. Bring the protractor in. Alright, so there you go. You'll see that that is, if it lines up nicely, which it doesn't like to do, there you go, 60 degrees. Go all the way around to there, 60 or 61, right? But I'll let myself off that 1 degree. Okay, it's quite hard to do on a computer. You can do it more accurately with a pencil, ruler and pair of compasses. Okay, so let's have a look at the constructing a 90-degree angle. I'm going to do that from a particular point, so I'm just going to mark on there where it's going to be. So just there you go, there's a point. Alright, we're going to do a 90-degree angle through that particular point. Okay, and the way we will do that is, again, we'll use the pair of compasses. It's the proper way to do things. Okay, you might be tempted to use a protractor, please don't. Right, I'm just going to make the point here, the center, flip that round, draw an arc on either side. So that point there is the exact middle of this little line segment that I've just created by drawing those. And it doesn't matter what size you do that again. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is just going to move that over to that point of intersection between the arc there, and then just straighten that up a little bit, and then extend it so it's definitely gone past halfway. Okay, rotate that round, draw an arc below. Okay, draw an arc above. All right, and then the same thing. So flip that, move that to the other side. Again, I'm not changing the size of the compass. Draw an arc down here. Oops, and rotate that up. Draw an arc up here. So it's exactly the same as that perpendicular bisector one above, and then we can just join those 2 points together. All right, and what that's done is gone right through that point there, and it looks slightly off because it is on the computer, but if you was doing it by hand, that point, that point, that point would all line up, makes perfect right angles with the line that we've been given to begin with. Okay, now the third and final question in the third question box is very, very similar again to the one above. Construct the perpendicular from point P to the line AB. Alright, so what we need to do with this one, again, we get our pair of compasses. Right, we make sure that we are set to a point there where we can draw over the line. So there we go, that's going to go over the line. Draw an arc on the line there. Continue to rotate it around. Draw an arc on the line here. Okay, and what I've got is 2 points of intersection between the line and the arcs I've drawn. And what I'm going to then do is pop the compass point on those. A lot of it involves doing that. Okay, and then I'm going to draw below the line here another arc. Again, gone slightly outside the box, which is kind of we can't help. Flip it round. Pop that there. Draw an arc there. I wonder if that's going to cross. Don't think it is. I'm going to have to go back to the other one. So flip that round. Sometimes this happens. Alright, go back there. Rotate that and just make sure it definitely, you get that point of intersection between the two arcs. Okay, now move all that out of the way and then get my ruler tool back in, and I'm just going to join that point there through to point P. Okay, and I've created a perfect right angle there, okay, between A to whatever this point we want to call it here, A something P, right, P something B, right, perfect right angles, perpendicular from point P to the line. Done. All right. And that's all the basic constructions that you need to learn for GCSE maths, and then we have to apply them. Okay, so the next slide I've got for you is loci construction problems, which are very interesting. I love those sorts of problems in exam papers, but I do know that lots of students struggle with them quite a lot. You definitely have to get good at this though. You have to get good at doing all of these things. All right, and if you get good at these, you'll have a great chance at doing all the next stuff correct. Right, quite a long video this one, but it is a bit of a faff to do. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching this one. Appreciate your support and comments and everything that I'm getting at the moment. It's very well received and appreciated. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one for sure. Bye bye.